Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
Welcome back to The Razor's Edge. My name is Chris, and I'm joined by the awesome Ollie from Korpiklaani. Thanks so much for taking the time, buddy. How are you doing?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you. Cool. So, welcome to The Razor's Edge. So you guys in Korpiklaani have, of course, been extremely busy over the last few months. I'll bet probably even longer. But we now come to the impending release of the band's 12th studio album, Rankarumpu, which comes out on April 5th. Congratulations with it. I've heard it already. It sounds amazing. I bet you're excited to finally get it out there.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, it's been interesting process. This is my first Korpiklaani album, so it was interesting, like the whole composition and recording process and everything. So it's always, depending on the band, it's always a little bit different. So it was definitely interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I think fans will feel right at home with it. It's got a lot of Korpiklaani's hallmarks that they've had over the years. But would you say that is there anything in this album that you think is special and unique for this album in particular compared to the back catalogue?
Me, of course. Well, I'm playing violins. I've been for 2.5 years, and I think based on the feedback we've gotten, it's been really positive, and many people are saying there's a lot of um, like some feelings and sounds like that are going maybe back to the original folk metal roots, like when it was more like up tempo, kind of uh, jolly Finnish folk metal type stuff. Because maybe during the years there were some albums that were more slow paced and maybe a little darker themed and in that sense even doomy sounding albums. So in that sense, I think this is definitely the tempos have gone up and there's a little thrash metal vibe there and pretty good melodic tracks as well. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What's the songwriting process like for Korpiklaani? Is it quite a collaborative process, or do you all like have your own stamp on each song kind of thing?
Uh, the main chief Jonne has I think uh, during all the years he's always been the main motor and main composer for Korpiklaani albums. There's always been like songs or parts of songs coming from somebody else. Now it's not very collaborative. I think like the modern age way, like you prepare, you know, demo tracks at home, and then that's how you represent the song to the other musicians. So so many times you hear at least somehow like thought out stuff and how the instruments would go together already, kind of like from the beginning. But there's a lot of now there was a lot of arranging done together. I think probably more than before. I was pretty active in that sense as well. The folk instrumentation stuff, accordion and violin has, I think, traditionally come from Sami, the accordionist. Now we thought a lot of stuff together, and I also composed three of the songs on the album are mine. So there was a lot of I like to think about the harmonies and stuff very much like beforehand. So I think my demo tracks were pretty kind of like ready made. No, some of them were like changed, yes. But for example, Aita song, for example, that was mine. That was kind of like pretty much as you can hear on the album. Very happy about it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. How did you find writing for this new band? Because you seem to get the style of Korpiklaani nailed from the word go. Like your songs, they sound like Korpiklaani. Was that difficult to achieve?
Right. Well, it was actually kind of funny. Me and Korpiklaani's ways, it goes kind of like back maybe 15, 16 years. So we are both from Finland, obviously, and it's a very small country. So we knew each other. And then along the years, there was a couple of years when I was actually filling in for the then current violin player, Tuomas. So and I did like part of the UK tour actually,
Cool.
like in 2016 or 17 with them, and that's how we knew each other from there. But then I was writing some of my own stuff a couple of years back, doing like a solo single and stuff, and then I was came up with this kind of a folk metal project, and I was thinking like that I want to make it like very very punchy folk metal stuff, and like of course you steal from the best. So I wanted to have some Korpiklaani elements there, so I made a couple of songs, just actually never released them, just made them couple 4 years back. And actually then when I joined the band, I actually told them like actually they were asking like let's prepare stuff for the new album, and I was actually telling them, maybe a little drunk in some van ride from festival. I was like, actually, I have a couple songs, maybe, let's check it out. And they really liked it. And so it's just basically like this folk metal parody stuff, which, but sometimes when the best things come when you don't try too much, to make it like serious, but you actually kind of like, you know, just go. So maybe a lot of stuff came from there for a couple of songs. I just wanted to make like fast-paced Korpiklaani stuff. So and I didn't know that I would join the band in that point. So it was very kind of like liberal stuff then. Yeah. But anyway, I guess yeah, you pick like the elements, you have to have the polka humpa drum thing and a little accordion and fiddling around. So that's how you make folk metal.
Yeah, cool. Speaking of that though, do you like to add the folk and then add the metal, or do some of the guys like to do it the other way around?
I think it comes at the same time, at least for me. I mean, like you many times it starts, with that kind of like humpa drum
Sure.
thing. And then you hear melodies and it comes from there. I think Jonne said that he was very he bought this new guitar. I think he bought like a custom Jackson or something, like a thrash metal guitar, and he had a great he said it really nice. He said it was full of really cool riffs. So he was starting making like these thrash riffs, and I guess he probably does it a bit of the same way. He has the melody is somewhere there, so he has kind of like, it's not like you add artificially folk
Mhm.
metal on top of metal. It kind of like goes together, I would say.
Okay, that's really cool.
Mm.
What I love about folk metal though is that it's such a varied subgenre. Like you got Inspirum, Elvati, you guys, you're all called folk metal, but you're all completely different from one another. What I love about you guys is that you're not the typical metal thing of being very dour and depressing. It's very about having fun, enjoying life,
Yeah.
copious amounts of drinking, of course. You'll have to excuse me as I don't speak Finnish, but are there many songs on this album that are about, I guess, partying, drinking, that kind of thing?
I think that's probably one of those things that has somehow stuck to Korpiklaani. Although I mean, like, not every song is about drinking, but
Yeah.
probably many of the key songs probably are. So it's not, if the name of the song is vodka, then
Yeah.
might kind of like deduce that it might have something to do with drinking. But yeah, forgot about the question, but I think yeah, I think you have to have all the blends and like the tastes of life there. So some of them are very joyful, and like I said, there were a couple of albums in the back catalog that are very much not like joyous drinking folk metal, but actually deal with murders and evil spirits and whatever. So I think the themes are more varied than people maybe
Yeah.
think. Yeah, but I guess there's a lot of, probably a common element is it's kind of like to dig the influence from somewhere from the cultural background that's very unique to the each culture and each country.
Cool. One second. I believe Jarkko's just jumping in.
Apparently so, yes.
Hello.
You're right, buddy. Can you hear
Hello.
me?
I'm slightly late. I'm awfully sorry.
No worries, buddy. No worries. Cool. So, just move on. So also want to talk because production-wise on this new album, it sounds absolutely huge. Is most of the band involved in that process, or do you leave your engineer to make the real great sound out of it?
I guess we have some idea, but I think yeah, Janne Saksa has done good work and has worked with the band. How many albums? At least the previous one.
3 at least, I think.
Yeah. So
Or
yeah,
even more actually.
yeah,
I can't even remember anymore.
yeah. But I agree, it sounds really, really good, and I think it has a very nice balance. I mean, like it sounds hard hitting, but there's also like the dynamic. There's room for the more softer, folk elements there. So Janne Saksa did pretty good job. But it's probably there was a reference from those thrash riffs, and I guess you need good metal approach there, so you can't go too soft.
Yeah, I personally like the fact that the album sounds like modern. It has like a current sound, but still it sounds quite organic. It's not like overproduced.
True, yeah.
And we had it is mostly as Olli said, mostly Janne's work, that mixing and sound. But yeah, we do get the like, how about this mix? How about this mix? And then everybody complains, like writes a list of like he gets a list of 100 things that has to be corrected or whatever. But mostly it's his work. He has been doing a good job with that.
Yeah.
Like since the first album he did with us, I think he found a good balance between the guitars, like the rock band and the folk instruments on top of that.
Yeah, awesome stuff. It definitely paid off because it sounds absolutely incredible. So I'm sure, like people who haven't really explored folk metal before, or I guess any subgenre of rock and metal that doesn't use the typical instruments you'd find in those genres, would assume it might be a combination that doesn't work. As we know, it of course absolutely does. But why do you think metal lends itself to having traditional instruments like accordion, violin, that kind of thing? Might be a very loaded question there.
Yeah. What is the actual question? Why?
Why is it, do you think that metal just it's you're able to add these instruments
why
to
is it
it?
able? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Why not? I mean, like many times, I think they bring texture and they bring melody and harmony. I guess in let's take like a band like In Flames. There's a very strong two guitar harmony always going, like that Gothenburg melodic metal thing. So maybe here it's accordion and violin is doing a lot of harmonic stuff there. So I think the traditional instrumentation gives the strong structure, or the kind of like basis in which you can throw a lot of stuff, a bagpipe or some pipes or whatever. What is the flutes or something like that? Like elevati or something. So I think folk metal in that sense is very refreshing, because there's bands that are not afraid to experiment with the instrumentation, because I mean, like I love traditional uh, metal band, whatever Carcass or whatever, that's very much there's guitar, bass, and blah blah blah. But it's nice to get some additional different shades of gray there, instead of the same instruments every time.
And I think heavy metal musicians and heavy metal bands, they have always been traditionalists in the sense that there's always the strong connection to the past and old stuff. And I guess the folk metal genre has just taken it that one step further back by bringing in the let's say old instruments.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I think me and Ollie were chatting before we started recording, but you guys recently wrapped up your UK tour with Alestorm. How did that tour go for you guys? That looked like loads of fun.
It was big audiences. I think the reception was really good. We enjoyed. The Alestorm were their silly selves, and they did a great show every night. I think it was really good package and good kind of like probably a lot of people there who didn't know who we are or had little info.
Yeah, we haven't done that many.
No.
Yeah, sorry, talking over.
Yeah.
We haven't done that many like support tours in general. Like we've mostly been headlining our own tours, but this supporting bands like this, it is a good way to expand your audience. And
Absolutely.
I think we did that, as Olli just said. I think we did that. There were a lot of people who probably didn't know anything about us except the name. And then I think we got some new audience.
Absolutely. And it's actually refreshing when it's true that you said like there's been a lot of headline shows that we've done, and now we actually had to kind of like roll up the sleeves and like let's win them over, because you can't just go there and expect everybody to know the catalog, and you have to kind of like make them want you. So it was really nice.
The little underdog situation gives you a bit of an extra boost.
Yeah, I'll bet. I often get frustrated with my fellow UK metalheads because it always feels like folk metal, power metal, all that stuff is still quite niche in the UK. It's never quite gotten the credit it deserves. That being said, though, those of us who do like it really, really like it. Do you guys find it? Is there a different vibe in UK shows compared to in Europe?
I love the UK in general. I mean, like I played there during my years with tourists loads of times. I think British audience is very appreciative. I have a feeling like there's you have very long tradition with pop and rock music, and everybody wants to tour the UK. So I think they've seen it all, but I think it's for many bands from Finland, for example, it's a little fresh ground still. I mean, like especially these days with Brexit and everything, it's kind of like
I can only apologize.
It's not a given thing that you go and do a UK tour. So it was a really good chance, this tour for us. We really like it, and the UK audience knows how to party, definitely. So I think in that sense as well, they were really good audience for Korpiklaani.
Yeah, I also like touring UK. I would like to travel around the UK without even playing the shows. I don't care about the shows that much. Well, not really, but I mean, it's a nice country to tour, and being basically being the birthplace of all the proper rock bands that there ever was. So it is in that sense it is a, like, I don't want to use the word difficult country, but it is the country that is a bit more demanding.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. But with a little signs of slowing down, you guys have got a tour of America coming up with the incredible Visions of Atlantis and Illumishade. In the summer, you're stopping off at my favorite festival, Bloodstock Festival. Is the vibe different at a festival compared to your own show?
Sure.
Festivals are of course different because it is not entirely your audience. Many people didn't pay for you particularly for that, so it's different. But I like both shows, both types of shows, club shows or festival shows. But they are different, but they are both quite enjoyable in general. And I like festivals otherwise because you get to see your favorite bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite. If you were to say you had a preference for one or the other.
I've never made a big difference. I mean, like show-wise, of course, it's easier to do, indoors, more with lights and maybe more dynamic set or something like that. But like I don't really make a difference between performing, on tour or festival. If I had to choose, maybe festivals. It's like chaotic little cities when you kind of like you're allowed to step in for 10 hours and then you fuck off. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and festivals are quite nice because you basically have a bigger stage in most cases. There are not that big stages when you play the club circuit. So
Yeah.
with us, with the gigantic drum set and 6 people, it is sometimes quite difficult to fit that properly, to fit that like not comfortably on a club stage.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that is pretty much like the most annoying thing that to have at a show is that you have to try to be careful on the stage so that you don't hit anyone else on the stage.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I'll bet. Cool. So imagine someone is coming to see you guys later this summer at one of the festivals and whatnot for the first time. What Korpiklaani album would you suggest they check out first? What album do you think best showcases what you guys do?
Well, I have to say the newest one. It has my fingerprint all over it, but I think it's a very, very I don't know if they are like traditionalist folk, then maybe they have to go to the Voice of Wilderness or something like that. If they really want to taste of like whatever traditional Finnish folk metal or whatever, but yeah, otherwise I would say check out the new one. It has like plenty of stuff for everyone who's even remotely interested in folk metal. I don't know what Jarkko says.
Yeah, the new album is always a good option since that pretty much best represents what the band is currently. And there's going to be quite well, I don't know about the festivals now, but like but there's going to be quite many of those songs in the set anyway for the forthcoming show. So
Yeah, cool. Finally, though, for the new album, if you had to suggest one song that you think sums up the new album, which one would you choose?
That's a horribly difficult question because the album is, I think, musically very diverse and it has quite a lot of different kind of moods and different kind of things. So picking one song to represent them all, I don't really know what that would be.
I don't even try to represent it all, but I have to, I take that homework. So I say check out Aita. Aita, I think it's very I think you get good folk metal vibes and you understand what it's all about from the very beginning. I think it's a really nice track that actually went down live really well as well. Yeah, really well as well. We debuted the song on the UK tour and I got a really good audience feedback. So that Aita means fence.
I was actually gonna say Aita as well, and for the same reasons that I actually started to like the audience liked that, but I actually once we played it on the tour, I actually myself started to appreciate the song even more. It's really nice track.
Awesome. Yeah, it's an album with a lot to offer for sure. So everyone watching, I'll reiterate again, Korpiklaani's new album, Rankarumpu, drops on April 5th. Please go check it out. It's such a good time. Good luck with the rest of the year, guys. Good luck with the album. It deserves to do well. It's really, really good. And thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. I'm sorry for being so much.
That's all right, buddy. No problem whatsoever. No worries whatsoever. Thank you all for watching. Go listen to some amazing heavy metal, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with all of our interviews by subscribing to our channel. For all the latest news reviews, interviews, and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.